on wages, prices, and profit. Now, I know there are some people who say that this isn't any business of the President of the United States.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Two Moms, One Mic. I'm Desiree.
I'm Nia.
And today we're going to be talking about things we learned in relationships.
Oh, those things. Romantic relationships and, you know what I'm saying, platonic relationships. Oh, my heart, my chest,
I feel like I learned
everything.
a lot within like my parents' relationships too. Like the relationship with my parents.
I want to start with the obvious, of course.
Relationships,
romantic relationships. Let's just get right into it. When I was in 10th grade, y'all, I threw my whole life away. I said, being an individual, I'm in love.
I know where this is going.
I'm in love and I love him so much. No. I feel like, okay, that was just fucked up how I just did that, but like,
who cares?
But yeah, so basically, I feel as if though I missed out on a lot, like in high school, because I was so wrapped up in being in a relationship and trying to be a fucking girlfriend when I should have been trying to be a teenager and live my life. And dealing with someone who is limiting and controlling is a bit hard to navigate through, especially like while you're, you know what I'm saying, young, because you're still under your parents' rules. So you're not really, I'm not gonna say you don't have that fight in you, but like it's just like he's a peer, so he might know what he's talking about. Like, you know, you value your friends and, you know what I'm saying, your peers' opinions and shit more than anybody else's.
I think that's what can create like dangerous dynamics kind of, because like even though, okay, so my outlook on dating, I feel like when you're in high school, you should be able to date multiple people, but then
be in relationships.
But then at the same time, people label that as a hoe. But at the same time, when you get out in the real world, like that's not being a hoe. It's literally just dating to
find somebody or just to have fun. Like, even I feel like you don't even have to date to necessarily, you know what I'm saying? I feel like where a lot of people fuck up is dating for forever. And I feel like certain people are just supposed to be in your lives for like a season, or like, you know, it's just certain, like the you that you are now, that this is the person you need for this. But when you elevate and when you go to this next level, you need this person. And I feel like some people get caught up in that, like they're scared to outgrow people, so that inevitably stunts their own growth and it holds them back.
Because I can see like outgrowing people, like that's a thing. You just outgrow them. But what kind of like, because I mean, I was always like this. Like, I dated to marry. I was straight up about that shit.
Same.
I dated to marry. So, and I'm still about that. Like, I date to marry. So, I mean, people have their reservations about that. It's cool if you don't like to date to marry, but don't knock people who do.
Right.
I feel like people, they kind of just like, oh, why do you want to do that? You know, it's not always forever.
You're so young and you have so much to do and experience.
But like what you're experiencing in that, when you're in that situation, those emotions are real. What you're experiencing is real. You don't know what's past that certain point because you're still, like you said, under your parents' roof. You don't know what's out there until you're literally probably in college. Yeah. Like,
and even then, like in college, like just from my sister's experience, they just kids too with alcohol and weed. That's the only difference. In free will, because they don't have no parents around. They still be in the same shit as us. I feel like you don't really get out there until you're in society by yourself.
I think you don't get out there unless you want to be there.
True.
Like, because I look for it. And I think you know, some people are just different. So they cannot look for it and then they'll just never be in it because you're not attracting to that. You're not attracting that energy to you because you don't want that energy, basically. But, I mean, I attract that. I try to attract that energy because I do want to build a life with someone at some point. And that's something I value. I value family.
Right.
And I feel like you can date just to date, but I guess what I really learned about relationships in general, some people are a lesson, like you said, in your life for things to learn. And I also think you learn a lot through relationships about boundaries, what you want and don't want.
I feel like something that I have noticed about you and like that I admire, like that you've been on lately, is kind of like this whole self-care journey, and like you've taken it to a level that I don't think I've seen anyone, you know what I'm saying, really do. Like you put these boundaries in place and you're sticking to them and you're not letting anybody, you know what I'm saying, break that down without you know what I'm saying, giving them the tools to do it. And I feel as if though, like, just for you being so young and like we're fresh to this in a way, like we're fresh to this. So just for you to be able to navigate that so carefully, you know what I'm saying, and just, you just know, like you're walking in your own purpose. And I feel like once you do the work for yourself, then you'll begin to attract those things and those people that you desire. And I feel like something you do as well that I admire is just like, I don't know, Des, you're fucking amazing. Like, y'all, me and Des, like, 6 months ago,
we was going through it.
We was going through it real bad.
I was calling you up every day or some point, and I was like, girl, I think this is a sign. Cause
yes.
Like, I'm more like spiritual. So I'm very in tune to what, like, I take meaning seriously. Like, if I resonate with something, I'm like, that's a sign. Or it came to a point when I started thinking, like, intuitively and stuff like that and got connected, I guess, with my mind and stuff. Came to a point where I was like, this is a lesson.
Right.
I need to pass this lesson. Like, I could see the lesson right in front of my eyes.
Because there's only but so many times they're going to give you until they hit your ass with a fucking sign. Like, for real. So I feel like, I don't feel like you waited to that point, though, to get hit with the sign.
I was not finna.
Yeah, I feel like you just did. Yeah. I feel like you really, like, took that shit and, like, you really applied it. And you was just like, this is not for me. And these are the things that I desire. This is what I want. This is the life that I want. Y'all, 6 months ago, I believe it was June or July, one of those. Me, Des, and her best friend, Morgan, we were all sitting in the bathroom. And Des was just like, I'm fucking done with this shit. I'm gonna be a new girl. I'm getting my hair done. I'm getting my lashes done. I'm getting a new wardrobe. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And she literally did just that. Like, I'm not thinking like she on bullshit like this whole time. I'm being a supportive friend. Like, okay, girl, period. Like, okay. But it's different when you talk that talk and you walk that shit. I'm like, okay.
Okay, you gassing me
this
for real.
This is my friend. Like, I was telling you the other day, like, I really admire that about you because I feel like as a young woman, or shit, as a woman, period, or as a person, I'm not even gonna put a gender on it, but like as a person, I feel like it's hard to walk away from something that you feel so deeply connected to and someone that you feel like you love, or just like, not even people, situations, or just becoming a new you, shedding that skin. Like, that's hard for a lot of people.
I think what really helped me was educating myself on healthy dynamics because we said in one of our previous episodes, you know, we wish we learned about more of the emotional side of things with sex, and like, you know, people can become codependent. You can have trauma bonds. It could just be really unhealthy, and it can be a cycle that you may not see if you're not knowledgeable or aware of it.
Or don't you, because a thing that I like to say is that people won't believe stuff until they're ready to. And
that's how it was for me.
Because you probably always have, because I know from my previous relationships, you know, I had
an
that
inkling.
Thought like, this is not right. Like, something's not right about this. But like, fuck it, he loved me. I love him. But like, that's not love. If you constantly have to sit back and kind of look at the situation, like,
if you have to convince yourself, it's not for you.
It's literally, if you have to convince yourself,
if
that's
you
what
have
it
to convince
is.
yourself, it's not for you. If, you know, I start going with the thing, you know, if I have a bad feeling about this, like, I feel like with people, I saw this TikTok and she was like, he gives me butterflies still. And I was like, oh,
you took the one you see. Y'all, butterflies is literally the common sense leaving your body. That's how I feel.
That is your body saying, get the fuck out of here.
I feel like as humans, now they're like, we have so much technology and things like that. I don't feel like we're as in tune with our bodies and our minds as much as we should, because your body knows. I feel like we all know our body will tell us before your mind, before the circumstances arise. Like, we know, we always have that intuition, that gut feeling. And I feel like once you start leading with that, then your life is going to be like 10 times better. But once you get more connected with your surroundings, with yourself, because a lot of people don't even know themselves. They just walk around in this body pleasing people, doing shit for other people.
Didn't I just tell you, I feel like I'm getting to know myself for the first time? Because, I mean, I am a lot of my relationships, I felt like I was a person who was over giving all the time.
Or the only one giving.
Yeah, the only one giving or overly giving. And I wouldn't get anything back in return. Like, it's not like I would expect it, but it still left me feeling empty because no one was pouring back into me.
One thing, like I noticed about myself is like, ooh, am I a 13-year-old boy?
We definitely about in there.
But like one thing that, like you said, like I don't give expecting to receive something back.
No, just give.
But that's kind of the thing that kept me going, like to keep giving, because like I'm not expecting anything back. This is what I want to do, but like it's at a certain point when you have to really like put a halt to shit and like look. You know what I'm saying? I need to be reciprocating. You need to be reciprocating some type of energy, whether it's emotional. If you can't do it financially or you can't give, like, bitch, make me feel secure in myself. Like, and that's really no one's job but mine. But like, if I'm pouring out to you, and you're not doing the same, eventually I'm gonna start feeling some type of way. You know, I'm gonna start looking at you different. Like, am I not doing enough? Is this not enough? Am I not, like, you know what I'm saying?
No,
you start to question yourself.
It's crazy. It's like, because I experienced this, but I stopped doing a lot of things that I would do, and then I would get it thrown back in my face. Yes. Oh, you don't do nothing. And then I'm always like, okay, let me not say that. I felt like I wasn't taken advantage of, but I felt like I'm gonna just say I felt like a doll. Felt like I was there to please. I wasn't there to talk back, and I wasn't there to like have a conversation, any type. Like, it was just, I need someone who can stimulate my, like, intellectually. Like, I need to have a conversation for you. Like, I want to have conversation with you for like hours. Right. You know? And I feel like that's what guys don't understand. Some do, of course. They're aware. But for women, it's a very mental thing.
Like, guys,
it's not physical.
I'm going to give you a tip, a little piece of advice. The way to a woman's coochie, girl, is through her ears. Not her legs, not her mouth, not through gifts. It's through her ears. If you can,
actions.
True. But a woman, though, not a woman. Because a woman, like, just naturally, we get turned on by smarts and emotion, like people who understand
emotionally
intelligent
people. Yes. That. And I just say, like, you know, I'm not finna group all women because, you know, some women actually prioritize sex more. Yeah. And that's cool, but you personally, if you want to get to that point, you're gonna have to stimulate her brain at some level.
There's some hoes out there that's just, ooh.
I feel like I got sick of like surface level shit. Yeah. Surface level things don't entertain me.
I relate to you in a way, and I'm not going to give too much details, but being with someone and not really knowing who they are under, you know what I'm saying, under the surface. And then when you finally
get to know who they are,
it's just like, who the fuck have you been pretending to be this whole time? That's what it feels like. Like it's like I had never seen this person before. I literally had to like take a step back at the end and just be like,
who are you?
Who the fuck are you? Literally, like, dude, you've been and it's such a hurtful feeling to like realize that somebody's been feeding you a facade for years or however long. Somebody's been building you up and making you think all these things about them, just for that to not even be the fucking person. I'm like, damn, can you keep pretending? At least, can you keep giving me something?
It's a different level of hurt, for real. It's like, it's more than hurt. It's more like a betrayal. Yeah. Because it's just like, well, if I knew you were like this, I wouldn't be with you. But they know that.
But that's the lesson thing. And that's how they get people. They're they're
aware. They're not stupid.
They narcissists, that's what I'm speaking on. They're very emotionally intelligent. However, I don't feel as if though they know their own emotional intelligence or they do to a certain point, or they use it to manipulate people.
They use it to manipulate people because the environment they grew up in.
Some people are just naturally like that, though.
True. But most narcissists are like that from their environment they grew up in. And that's the thing, like, some narcissists can be aware that they're narcissistic, but most narcissists they don't care. They will deny that to literally their deathbed and be like, no, I'm not narcissist. But in the same point, they will be like, I'm gonna use that against you. Oh, you don't look good today. And then just start slowly manipulating how you feel, how you interact with people. Personally,
this some bullshit.
I want someone who can like elevate me. You know, I felt like I was clouding their light, and I had to dim mine on purpose. Oh, yes. And I hate dumbing myself down for people. I need to have an intellectual conversation with you, and if I can't have that,
or even
what's
just
the
feel
point?
comfortable being myself around you. Like, I don't want to keep filtering what I'm doing or like
or what
be
I say.
like overly fucking cautious. Like I'm just scared to
I
fuck
felt
up.
like I was in survival mode.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
That's a terrible, y'all. If you ever feel like you're in survival mode with a person, whether it's a relationship, romantically, with your parents, with a friend, cousin, doesn't matter.
Right.
You should not feel like you should give to a survival mentality in this day and age.
You shouldn't be anywhere where you feel like you have to walk on fucking eggshells all the time and just any environment where you can't be yourself, whether it's the workplace, you know what I'm saying, extracurricular activity or whatever the case may be. I feel like it's very important for us to learn to detach ourselves from certain situations and put ourselves first. Because I feel like as humans, or like, as humans, we're kind of taught to like,
give.
Thou shalt whatever fuck they say about your neighbor. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to take care of other people, but nobody really teaches you to take care of yourself and prioritize yourself. And that's like, I feel like that's how a lot of us fall into these traps with relationships or just being and you know what I'm saying, stuck in a dead end job and not really, you know what I'm saying, scared to fulfill your dreams. It's like, it's not that hard. Like literally what I'm doing right now, I feel like this sitting here talking to in a microphone to God knows who, this is fulfilling to me. This is what makes me happy. And it took me to a point to find someone who shared the same dreams as me and the same aspirations as me to act on that dream. And I'm very grateful for that. But I feel like, why couldn't I do that myself? Like, why couldn't I push myself to get there?
I feel the same way because we both start YouTube in high school around the same time. And I kind of stopped because I felt like now that I'm looking back on it, my growth was being stagnated by people who weren't supporting me. And I don't do stuff based off validation, but if I see no one supporting me when I consider them closest to me, it's kind of like, well, what do I do this for then?
Right.
Like, especially if I want to grow with you.
Even with this, I'm not going to say I don't feel like I get support because we have tremendous support, but I feel like, let me go back to my personal YouTube. I feel like that, like just not having the support from the people like around me is what made me like, fuck this.
Yeah.
But you have to learn, like, I feel like everybody should know when you start something new or when you start a business or whatever the case may be, the people around you, the people closest to you,
they're not going to be the main ones supporting you.
They may offer verbal support and that should be enough because they know you already. They don't want to sit, I'm not going to say they don't want to, but like the last thing they probably want to fucking do is watch you sit in front of the camera and talk because they see you do it every day at home or something. But like,
or they probably heard the same conversation.
So I don't take offense to that. Like Hugh, he says, I don't like, sometimes I don't really watch the whole podcast. I might just...
But he might comment.
He likes and comments on all of our...
today.
Yeah, he likes and comments on all of our stuff. He's like, I may come back, but like, I just show the love off rip. And I'm completely fine with that.
Yeah.
Completely fine with that.
I think that's pretty valid in itself. But that's kind of where I just stopped. And I don't know, like when I just started moving on my own accord, it was just really refreshing, like you said, you know, having a person. I think it's the feedback. We feed off of each other. Like our energy just flows. And I don't know, I feel like we're very chaotic in a way.
It's organized chaos.
Literally organized chaos, literally. And I love it though, because I never had another person who was like this, I guess. Like just so upbeat and wanting to actually participate actively in things. Because
I feel like I've been planned a lot of things that I was supposed to do with my friends
but it never happened.
It never fell through. But I feel like our energy never changed. Like even to this day, our energy has never changed. Like we was like, go, 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 go. Y'all, I promise it took like fucking 5 months of planning and just setting up all our accounts and all of that.
We got our trademark in what, April?
We got our trademark before we even filmed the episode.
I think it was in April. This year.
We got our trademark before we even wrote down any ideas. Because
as soon as we heard our name, we was just like, oh, we need to trademark that.
That's it.
Yeah. So, and it's that type of energy that makes you want to keep going, though.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like because, like, you know, I never had that person who's like, oh, let's go do it type of thing. I'm always that person. And it gets tiring to be only that person at a lot of times.
Right.
Just to be the only one that's like, let's put action, let's go do this and type thing. But you feed into that. And so when you're like, oh, yeah, let's go do the trademark thing. And like we actually did it. I was like, oh my God. Like
It felt real.
It felt really good. And I was just so happy to have someone who's receptive of my energy and actually wants to do as much as I do. That's how I felt.
Y'all, I don't know. Like, I feel like we've been on a roller coaster of emotions through different relationships, and I'm so honored to be your friend. You know, I really appreciate you. I'm really happy that this is a thing. Like, we're working this out, and this shows how life can come full circle. You in fucked up relationships, going through bad friendships, friendship breakups, whatever the fuck, and you come back to this point once you let all that negative energy go. You're happy.
You know,
you're living
looking
your
back
life.
now that you say that, just looking back, I'm like, wow, those people really couldn't come on this journey. Because the type of energy they gave off.
You get that guilty feeling. We're like, fuck them people.
I don't even get a guilty feeling anymore. I'm just like, yeah, you shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
I literally say that. I'm like, you shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, if you were here, well, you were meant to be here.
Period. So, guys.
On that note, we're going to wrap it up.
Yeah, because we're going over our time, y'all. We're not paying for no extra studio time. Anyways, y'all, this has been a very, very productive episode. I feel like it helped me shed and release a lot of things that I didn't know was in there.
You was feeling that shit.
I was feeling it.
You was feeling it for real.
I was feeling it, y'all. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. New episodes dropping every Friday. I am Tania.
I'm Desiree. See you next week.
Bye. Mic drop.
And